channel. Today we're going to be looking at the earnings, the Q4 earnings for Broadcom. Today is the first time we're looking at Broadcom on this channel. We usually analyze the likes of Nvidia, TSM, Intel and all that, but they're within the same industry. They produce chips. Broadcom is one of those giants. The stock price is not relatively cheap. It's above $500. It's trading around $549 today. The revenue is up around 21% year over year. So Broadcom is doing well. It's one of those stocks you should know about. You don't necessarily have to invest in it if you're already invested in the likes of Nvidia, Intel, and all that. They're within the same industry, but Broadcom is a little bit different because it's a value. It's been there. It's not lousy. And I understand what I mean by it's not lousy. You really need to understand that. Anyway, let's have a look at the details of the earnings. The actual is 8.93 billion, while the estimate is 8.91 billion. The EPS is $10.45, while what was expected is $10.25. So it beats top and bottom. But let's have a look at the details of the earning itself. We'll have a look at that on the investor relation on the website. We'll see the earnings report line by line, then we can understand what aspect of the business is doing well. We'll have a look at that. But also, as an investor, as I often say on this channel, you should look at the website so you see the product. You begin to understand what the company does, not just about ticker symbol. Yes, they're into chip. But everyone is into chip. TSM is chip, Nvidia, AMD, and the likes of all that. But by going to the website, you have understand the difference between these companies. Who are the customers? Who are they supplying? Why are they different? Why do they deserve you to invest in them? You see? So let's have a look at that. Here is the website for Broadcom. As you can see on their website, once you see a picture like this or a diagram like this, it tells you that this has to do with architecture, chips, software, product, solution, support, and service company, how to buy. What are you designing today? The design, just as I said, I mean, this is a diagram of a chip, so it tells you what they do. What are you designing today? Broadcom Wi-Fi app solution, data center solution, financial services solution, enterprise security solution, broadband access solution, motor drive and control solution. These are what they offer. I mean, they're asking you what are you designing today. So as a client within their website, they assume that you have intention of designing a solution, so they can offer you that. Support portal, document plus download security center. Then here is news and other stuff. Let's have a read at what the information says here. Broadcom includes a Delaware corporation headquartered in San Jose, CA, which is California, is a global technology leader that designs, develops, and supplies a broad range of semiconductor and infrastructure software solutions. Broadcom category leading product portfolio services critical market, including data center, networking, software, broadband, wireless, storage, and industrial. Our solution include data center, network and storage, enterprise and mainframe software focused on automation, monitoring and security, smartphone component, telecoms, and factory automation. Information on the pending transaction between Broadcom and VMware can be found at, I think this is the website, remainingsoftware.com. So, I mean, reimaginingsoftware.com. You can have a look at that website, but for this purpose of this video, we're not going that, and we're not going there. Let's come up here again. There are other information that you can see here. Here, there's information on the Q4 earnings that we are making this video on. Announced 44 quarter fiscal year financial result on Thursday. There are a lot, different form of information depending on what you want, and also you can have a look at this video here, which is more or less featured Broadcom is a global infrastructure technology leader built on 50 years of innovation. As I said, 50 years. This is it's a value stock. Is a company that's been there for years. If they've been operating for 50 years. So you can have a look at this video in your own time. For the purpose of this that we are doing, we're not for this, but this will just give you an idea, of what Broadcom does. But then let's move on to the Q4. I've actually opened the detail here. So here is let me set this. Okay, cautionary statement regarding a forward-looking statement. Let's do this. I agree. Broadband, Broadcom to acquire VMware. That is, this is an acquisition they intend to do or they're about to do, which is not a part of this. I mean, as an investor, you can also, put your you should know about this. You should know that by the time you check the finances, you see that okay, from their free cash flow, they are allowed to do acquisition to acquire new businesses, do buyback, all sort of things. This is why it's very good for companies to have free cash flow. I mean, cash flow, as we say, is king. But then for having a cash flow on their finances would allow them, you know, um, a company can grow, by via making a huge margin but you can also grow and expand by making acquisition. So making an acquisition is key to growth for some companies. Here it says cash 142 50 cents or shares of 0.250. This might be the detail of the for each anywhere share. You see, it's about the acquisition they want to make, which is at 61 billion in cash and stock. This is not why we're on this video. Otherwise, we would spend some time here to look at it. Roadmap to completion. When it's open. When you're making acquisition, when it's open and when it's completed. There will be there will be different agencies that monitors monopoly and all these things to be sure that they are allowed to. Look at what's happening within Microsoft and Activision Blizzard. The story is still there, whether they're going to acquire, whether they finalize it or not. They need to check. There are some regulatory authorities that would have a look at, both ends to be sure that consumers are not going to be shortchanged one way or the other. But for now, let's move on to the Q4 data, which is here. Financial news. Broadcom inclusive announces fourth quarter and fiscal year 2022 financial result and quarterly dividend. So here we have cash from operation, which is 4.583 million for the fourth quarter, less capital expenditure of 122 million, resulted in 4.461 million of free cash flow. As I mentioned, free cash flow is key. Free cash flow or 50% of revenue. Quarterly common stock divided dividend increased by 12% to $4.60 from the prior quarter. Revenue of 8.930 million for the fourth quarter, up 21% from the prior year period. GAAP net income is 3.59 million for the fourth quarter. Adjusted EBITDA is 5.722 million for the fourth quarter. GAAP diluted EPS is $7.83 for the fourth quarter. Non-GAAP diluted is $10.45 for the fourth quarter. First quarter revenue guidance approximately 8.9 billion, an increase of 16% from the prior year period. First quarter adjusted EBITDA guidance of approximately 63% of projected revenue. San Jose, California, December 8, 2022. Broadcom Inclusive, a global technology leader that design, develop, supply semiconductor and infrastructure software solution. Today reported financial results for the fourth quarter and fiscal year ended 30th 20 October 30th to 2022. provided guidance for the first quarter of its fiscal year 2023, which is the normal thing to do. You provide um, guidance for the next quarter, but this happened to be the 2023. Announced its quarterly dividend. Broadcom fiscal year 2022 revenue grew 21% year over year to a record of 33.2 billion as a result of strong demand from hyperscale service provider and enterprise, said Octan, president and CEO of Broadcom Inclusive. This growth was driven by our strong partnership with customers and accelerated adoption of our next generation technology. As we look into fiscal 2023, our increased R&D investment during the preceding year positioned us to extend our leadership in the next generation product within the end market we address. In fiscal 2022, we achieved record adjusted EBITDA margin of 63%, generating 16.3 billion in free cash flow. As you can see, free cash flow, or 49% of revenue, demonstrating our stable and focused business model, said Christine Spears, CFO of Broadcom. Consistent with our commitment to return cash to shareholders, we will resume our authorized share repurchase program for the remaining 13 billion. Like I said earlier, from your free cash flow, you can do acquisition. You can also do buyback. This is their buyback program. Company do that a lot. It's a way of giving money back to investors. The target fiscal 2023 annual common stock dividend of 18.40 per share is a record, and the 12th consecutive increase in an annual dividend since we initiated dividend in fiscal 2011. Fourth quarter fiscal year 2022 highlight. These are the highlights here, which we've also mentioned earlier. Net revenue, if you just compare Q4 2022 and to 2021, as you can see, net revenue here in Q4 2022 is 8.930 compared to 2021 is 7.4. So an increment of the change is about 21% plus 21%. So if you look at net income as well, here you have 3.3 and here you have 1.9. So if you look at everything, it is still better in this Q4. Earnings per common share diluted. Here you have $7.83, while you have $4.45. So you can have a look at all these dollars in, okay, in million. Cash flow from operation 4.583 in Q4 2022 compared to Q4 2021, which is 3.541, which is approximately about 1.042, in difference. Adjusted EBITDA, free cash flow. You can see free cash flow here is 4.461, while last year is a 3.453. That's the change, the difference. Net revenue by segment. Let's have a look at under where we see either liabilities. As okay, here it says semiconductor solution infrastructure software. Total net revenue. As you can see, the figures are here. The company cash and cash equivalent at the end of fiscal quarter were 12.416 million compared to 9.977 million at the end of prior quarter. During the fourth quarter fiscal, the company generated 4.583 million in cash from operation and spent 122 million in capital expenditure. On September 30, 2022, the company paid a cash dividend of $4.10 per share of common stock, totaling 1.707 million, and a cash dividend of $20 per share of a mandatory convertible preferred stock. That's not the common stock, totaling 75 million. Physical highlight. Here you can see in dollars, net revenue, net income, earnings per share. You can have a look at all those figures. Let's have a look at this. Quarterly dividend. The company's board of directors has approved a quarterly cash dividend on its common stock
of $4.60 per share. The common stock dividend is payable on December 30th, 2022 to common stockholder of record of the at the close of business 5 p.m. time on December 20th. Financial result conference call. So guys, you can have a look at all this information in your own time as an investor. It gives you more, you have more reason, more confidence, and know why you are putting your money in Broadcom, even though we have said it's a value stock, but that doesn't mean you still need to do your own analysis and look at all these figures. I'm still trying to look at the way where we can see the liabilities. I like to look about to check the liabilities of companies, which is very very key. I also don't like when a company cannot pay its total liability within 3 to 4 years. That's part of my own criteria. It does not necessarily have to be your own criteria, but you can also set your own. Here is liability and equity, total liability. The total liability is 50.540, while here is 50.581, meaning that the liability has reduced. They must have paid some part of the liability. Let's look at this current liability account payable 998 here. So is reducing. Employee compensation, as you can see, current portion of long-term debt, the debt has increased here. Other current liabilities, here you have a 4.412, and compared to last year, to 2021, 3.839. Long-term liabilities. Under the long-term liabilities, it is lesser this year. So this is the total liabilities. Now let's have a look at here just to confirm again. It's in millions. So here, that's for this quarter, and we also compare it to 2021. So 2022 and 2021 is what we compare here. Guys, let's move on to the technical details. You can have a look at all this. I mean, cash flow is also very important, which you should look at. But for the purpose of this video, let's move on to the technical chart for price action. On the technical chart here, we have a weekly chart. Under the weekly chart, you have market capitalization, which is 233.65 billion. Shares in float is 413.7 million. Shares outstanding is 417.9 million. And the EPS rating is 94. The EPS growth is 14%. The 5-year PE range is between 7 and 24. Cash flow, you have $41.03. Broadcom has always been in the, they've always been liquid. Past EPS from 2016 to date, as you can see, it's very positive. We have it here as a close of business on the first 2023, $559.13. It is currently trading. The 52 weeks high is 677, while 52 weeks low is 415. It is currently trading 17.4 minus 17.4% off 52 weeks high. Let's have a look at ownership here. Funds own 53% of Broadcom, while banks own 1%. Let's have a look at checklist. Peter Lynch, 5 out of 8, while Warren Buffett is 14 out of 16. Just 2 that misses. Benjamin Graham, you also have 14. Yeah, you also have 9 out of 13. Let's have a look at technical. Other technical, you have, it is currently trading above 10 weeks moving average and above 40 weeks moving average. So here is the line for 10 weeks moving average and 40 weeks moving average. So it's currently trading above it. So here I can say we have this line here, which will act like a support line, and we also have it here now. So it has broken the level of resistance here. So this looks like Broadcom is on a bullish move. This is an engulfing candle that sits on a uh, 10-week moving average as resistance, but then they've broken this level of sorry, as support, but they've broken this level of resistance. Let's have a look at it on daily chart. On the daily chart, it is crystal clear that Broadcom is on a bullish move in an uptrend for um, Broadcom, and is currently trading above 15-day and 50-day moving average. But then, as you can see, it is pretty clear. But guys, please do your valuation. Do not just jump on this stock because I've done this video.
You have seen the details of the key 4 earnings for Broadcom. You have seen the website. You've also checked the investor relation. You have seen the report. Now, be sure you know why you want to invest in it. You see, you don't just invest in a stock because you've seen the ticker symbol and the stock is going up today or going down. Yes, it is good to buy stock when they are below their intrinsic value, but it is far more important when you know why you are buying it. It is far more important when you know what the business is all about. That is what keeps you going even when the stock price is down and you know that the business is good, solid. You see, it's not just about daily fluctuation of stock. Now you have seen the chips. You may even go further to see why they're different from the likes of Intel and other, and why their own stock price is even higher than Intel, than AMD, than Nvidia. You see, whether their chips is superb, better. These are the kind of things you should do. And we have also looked at the technical chart for price action. You have seen the price. If you don't understand price action, you can get it up. However, fundamental information and balance sheet superb everything. You understand that? Fundamental information, balance sheet, making sure you do the right valuation, supersede the technical chart. Thank you for watching this channel. Thank you for supporting our channel by liking it. We appreciate you. We will continue to produce content that will support your investment journey. Please call again.